Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I'm your reader, Jay. These are general messages for Capricorn in March 2019. Hello, Capricorn. What's going on, guys? How are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Capricorn, that's your main spread there. Shuffled off camera to save time. Shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. If you've been here before, you know the deal. The timestamp's in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Readings are $25. Send me an email. I say I received your email. You send me the payment. And then I upload your video to a private YouTube link. And it's yours. You can download it and keep it forever. Okay? Easy, right? If you do have any questions, though, to clarify what happens with the readings or how and all that kind of stuff, non-tarot related, you can still email me. Just put question in the subject line, okay? All right, Cap. I'll shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy, okay? Outcome for Capricorn in March 2019, please. Oh, wow. Pretty quick. That's so funny. Oh, my gosh. So, I shuffled pretty damn well. And that guy popped out. And I was like, hey there, Ace of Swords, what's up? And I'm like, you're going back in the deck. And then he shows up anyway, so there you go. It was meant to be. One card was face down, there it is. So let's figure out what's going on with you, Capricorn, okay? Please show me Capricorn in March 2019. Please show me where Capricorn is in March 2019. Please show me Capricorn in March. Yes, okay, thank you. Whew. Interesting. That was like, very forceful. There you go. Coming into March, you come in as the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Well, okay, that's all right. I'll show you this card upright so you can become used to it. This is the Happy Tarot deck in case you haven't seen it before or you were curious. And as I just said, your energy, or excuse me, the position was reversed. So, a Page of Pentacles being in reverse. Oh boy. Oh, here comes that really loud song. It's like so loud. Anyway, some of you might have, and I'm going to say this, I've said it in many videos, I don't resonate with children, but this month in particular, March, oh, is that why? Because spring's coming up and, you know, spring is, you know, the fertile, or, you know, the season of fertility. Maybe that's it. I don't really resonate with kids. I don't hang around kids. There's not a lot of children in my life. So I just never really talk about the pages being children, but that has been happening in several readings. So for some of you, this could be your child or a child around you who is an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. They don't have to be those signs, but they might possess this energy. And what I'm getting is, in the case of where this is a kid who's around you, and this person would be significant, either your child or maybe your teacher, so it's a child in your care or in your classroom, something like that. I'm feeling like a loner, really. Plays by themselves, is kind of introverted, shy, smart, you know, clever enough, but just not socially outgoing, yeah? So there's a reserved energy with this page right now. And I'm feeling there's also, because of this reserved energy and this introverted energy, there's a disconnection between you and this child. So if this is your kid, or like I said, you're a teacher, something like that, you want to see this kid succeed and excel and kind of come out of their shell, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to happen anytime soon. You may be hopeful of that, you may be trying your best, but I'm feeling in conjunction with what this card energetically means is that if it coincides with a kid in your life who is significant to you, Capricorn, this kid for the moment is just not able to get out of that energy. They're like having having to either do it on their own or process something on their own, or other factors are preventing them from, sort of coming out of their shell and being more, they're wanting to say lively, but I don't even think it's lively, because I don't think this kid is normally high energy. I think that they're normally pretty even keeled. They might have interests that excite them, but they're never like bouncing off the walls. But there's a turn in their personality that you desire, Capricorn, that you want to see come about. But, you can't force these things, is basically what I'm feeling. You can't force, especially a younger kid who's like an adolescent or a pre-adolescent. You can't really force, and even a teenager or someone who's in their late teens, like a 19-year-old or something like that. You can't force people to kind of come around any faster than what they are capable of, is what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling that in this position now, if it's not necessarily a child or someone younger than you that you're close to or that you have a substantial relationship with, it could be an energy that's in yourself, Capricorn, which is, in due time. Already Pentacles are slow. The Page is without a horse, unlike which the Knights have. So the Pages already move slowly, and then you get the Pentacles, which is the slowest moving energy out of all of the suits. So in due time, this energy will pass. It will transform. This person will see a change in their demeanor. And I feel that this quiet, introverted energy is necessary right now, because actually it might seem like nothing's going on with this person. It might seem like they're just listlessly moving through life. They are not motivated, they're lazy, or they're depressed in some cases. That all may be very well true, but there's something going on beneath the surface with this Page of Pentacles energy, okay? So I'm now getting like introverted and shy, but then being pushed outside of themselves. So again, it could be a child, but now I'm moving into, for those of you, you might be like me, there are no kids in my life, Jay. And I'm like, amen, I understand. So for those who it's not a child in your life and it's more aligned with what's going on with you, I'm feeling this wanting to be alone, or this wanting things to be calm and quiet. But as an adult, especially, I'm assuming most of my viewers are adults. Actually, I shouldn't assume. I know most of my viewers are adults. So when you're an adult, you have to show up. Yeah? You have to go places. You have to interact. You have to put a smile on your face. You have to engage in conversations when all you want to do is go home and just sit in silence, or watch a movie, or knit, or, play a game, do whatever. There's this idea right now for someone in your life, Capricorn, yourself or someone else, that time spent alone is valuable. And there's a lot that will transpire in those quiet moments. A lot of revelations, maybe. A lot of realizations, or, as much... I've been there before, where you try and dig it out of a person. What's wrong? Tell me what's going on. Tell me about your day. Is this bothering you? And someone is earnestly trying to help, earnestly trying to get you or this younger Page of Pentacles out of themselves, yeah? And it's meant to be nice, but it's actually frustrating. And the actual solution is to leave them alone. And that's hard, because nobody else can see it that way. This person knows, or there's some knowing with this energy that if you leave me be, it'll be fine. But if you push me and you try and pull this out of me, or pull me out and, out onto the dance floor, or out into public, or out into the social, you want me to be more social. It's like, no, I would prefer not to do that. And that's the other thing, is I'm also getting that this energy is sort of going along with it, especially if it's a child. Yeah. A lot of times, for not lack of, but it's just the way it is in terms of age hierarchies or maturity hierarchies is that children have to do what adults tell them to do. You know, a lot of times, not all the time. And so I'm getting that even though this kid might want to stay home and stay in their room or just be on their cell phone, Snapchatting with their friends, it's like, no, put your phone down, Hannah, or put your phone down, Bobby, or put your phone down, Tyreek, or whoever, and come out here and do this, or let's go here and do that. Or it's you. And we, as adults, we do that all the time. Come on out tonight to drink, Sandra. And it's like, I don't want to, but okay. So there's this going along with what other people want that isn't, it's not detrimental, but it's just counterproductive. It's not going to get the result that whoever is doing the pulling or the pushing, whoever's encouraging this person to get out of their shell and go do something new or go do something that's involved and engaging, that's not going to get the result that that person wants, and it's not going to get the result that the Page of Pentacles wants either. So they should just be left alone. And yeah, okay, thank you. So that being left alone, and I mentioned it briefly, but I didn't really expand on it, at least I don't think I did, where I said there's something to be revealed, there's something to be realized, or like a breaking point, like a breakthrough, in that quiet, reserved time. That's when it happens. That's when it happens. A lot has gone on with this person, or a lot is going on inside of this person right now. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, boy. So, churning and turning, you know, I'm getting like a turning of a dial, like a clicking, like a winding, thank you, like a wind up. So maybe that's what this is. This person is wound really tightly, and in order to decompress, or in order to kind of let that dial turn itself back to like I guess a status, in order to release the tension, this wound up tension, this person needs to be given time. Needs to be given time. Yeah? And maybe it's like I don't want to say cycle, but maybe there's like a rhythm to it. Because what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing is a turning. How can I describe it? It's like a wind-up toy. Like, you know, you wind it, and, you know, I used to have toys when I was a kid that you wind up. And I had like a little, what do you call those? Like a little jewelry box with like the little ballerina, ding, 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 like that kind of music. And you wind it, and you ever wind something so much that you can barely like wind it anymore? So you've hit the brink, you've hit the limits, right? So then you release it, and you know the toy does its little dance on the table or something like that. And then you wind it again, and then it dances again, and then you wind it again. So I'm getting that there's like a rhythm, really wound tightly, and then a release. Wound tightly, do a little dance, you know, play a little tune out of the music box or out of the jewelry box, and then you wind it up again, and it happens again and again and again. So I'm getting like I don't want to say cycle, but okay, so they want me to say cycle. I don't want to say cycle, but they want me to. So there's a cycle here. We keep coming back to doing this thing again, and then releasing it, doing it again, and then releasing it. Yeah? And being that it's the Wheel of Fortune, I feel that that's kind of that pattern. Someone needs to clue into that pattern. You do, if this is you. Your kid does, if this is for your kid. But that pattern of feeling tight and wound up and then releasing, but then getting tight and wound up again and then releasing. That pattern, there's a lesson there. There's a lesson in it. There's something that has to be understood. What that is, what it means, Who it's for, where it applies, don't know. But need to move towards that. I am not allowed to know what that means. Because number one, there's many of you. It's going to be different for everybody. And number two, it's not my life. It's your life, or it's the life of someone who's close to you. Someone that's significant to you. Yeah? So it's not for me to highlight that part of it for you. Okay? And I mean, because look who's next door to that starting position. The High Priestess, yeah? So, High Priestess, what we know and what we don't know. From Alpha to Omega, the veil, all of those things are here. Your higher intuition, these nudges, those are just like, quick words that you can apply to the High Priestess. As this applies here to your reading now, I'm getting, going back to, for those who, this is a kid that you're close to, I'm getting that this child could be some type of an empath, some type of a, I don't want to use that word because I don't know how I feel about it, but like indigo child, intuitive. This kid has a lot of intuition. This kid might be old, like an old soul, They know more than they let on. They can sense more. They can intuit more. They can predict more. Some of them might be psychic. Some of them might be, really in tune with like the esoteric or the underworld or some. There's a connection between this kid or you, if this is your energy, and knowing more than what you would assume a 10-year-old would know or a 15-year-old would know. Whatever. You might be 38. You know more than a 38 would know. A 38-year-old person should know. You're like in here working with the wisdom of like an 80-year-old. Does that make sense? So there's this higher understanding or a higher, like a higher plane of consciousness that this person operates on that doesn't make it easy for them here in the now, in the now of March 2019. Oh my God, they just gave me something and then I lost it. Hold on. Oh shit. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. And maybe that's where that tense and release comes from, that tensing wound up energy, and then a release comes from, because the High Priestess is also, she can be associated with aspects of the moon, and moons come in cycles, and that, all that, waves come in, waves come out, high tide, low tide, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so I'm getting that maybe that's what this comes from. This person is so uncomfortable right now because they have a high tense moment right now. And in those higher tense wound up moments, this is what's raining down on them. This is what's pertinent in their lives, is that I have this knowing, I have this inkling, I have this hunch, I have this feeling that I can't shake, that something is wrong somewhere or something needs to be addressed over here. And the High Priestess never, ever, ever, ever clearly communicates with us here on the 3D plane, on the earthly plane. Never. She never gives us a clear message because she can't. Well, she can, but she's not going to. And if she did, we probably wouldn't understand it. This is like some, oh God, I wish you could understand what I'm trying to say here. The High Priestess knows everything. Alpha to Omega. In all planes of existence. In all the galaxies. Yeah? Like that's how much knowledge she has. All of it. And so to communicate clearly to us would overwhelm our minds, our hearts, our sensibilities, our understanding of the universe. We would be overwhelmed. So she can never clearly tell us what's going on. You can get clues, you can get hints, you can get, signs and synchronicities and things like that. And so that's possibly where, especially since this is Pentacles, right? And Pentacles is heavy in the earthly experience, yeah? It's not super attached to the mystic or esoteric world. So this discrepancy is innate to this person. I always feel like there's something I don't know, I can't understand, I can't articulate, and they become frustrated because the Pentacles is about everything you can see, touch, taste, hear, everything that is discernible here on earth through our senses. The High Priestess is not reliant on the human senses. She doesn't need them. She exists beyond them. Yeah? So for some of you, or again, it's going to go, you know your situation. It's either you or a kid has that feeling. I'm always aware of things, but I can't explain them. And then I mention it and people think I'm crazy, or I act differently and then people think I'm being weird. It's like, no, I'm protecting myself, or I'm agitated, or I'm frustrated, and all this kind of stuff, other kind of stuff. And it's it's like otherworldly. And the issue here is, I think there's a discrepancy, or there's a hard time reconciling that. Especially if this is a young energy, especially if this is a kid coming in through their own, going through their own natural developments, puberty, going to school every day, having to make good grades, getting on the basketball team, doing whatever. And then I'm having I'm having premonitions. Like, that's weird for most kids. I mean, life is already kind of messed up for kids grown up already. It's like, oh my God, my parents are this and da da da. It's just like they're overwhelmed already. And then it's also like, oh, I had a premonition about my grandma, and then it came true. And then I tell my mom that, and she says, well, that's not of the Lord. No offense. I don't want to cause offense to anybody. But you know what I mean? So then that would make that person even more withdrawn. More like, well, I can't tell my mom about it because she said that's not true, or I'm crazy, or something, or you're experiencing that. Something like that. Somebody is having this psychic, mystical, esoteric, just like connection, and they can't explain it. And other people are not understanding it. And that's the game that the High Priestess plays. I know everything. She knows everything. I'm speaking as if I was her. I know everything. And giving you this bit of information, I know is going to upset you, but I also know what happens after that. So there's this idea that there's something that happens after these three kind of come along and kind of meet up with each other. This might be the first time that you or this kid is like really thinking about these premonitions, thinking about these synchronicities and this sort of strange understanding of reality, or understanding of situations. And this might be the first time that they're actually going to go and do some homework on it. They're going to research it. They're going to sit with the feelings and try to piece together the mystery of it all. Now, yes, and when you do that, yes, here we go. So when that happens, and that might be what's missing here. You might need to leave this person alone, or you might need to be left alone, but this person just might need, like I said, didn't I say that? In due time, it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. So when it begins to happen, what do you get? You get the Star card, card of Aquarius. So an Aquarius might be important here. In Aquarius, they're pointing me quickly. One of the first things that people say about Aquarius, or one of the stereotypes of Aquarius, is that Aquarius is like a space cadet. Aquarius is out to lunch. Aquarius is very open, very open to the mystical, very open to philosophy and different ways of thinking, different ways of understanding reality. Like, they really march to the beat of their own drum. They're hugely individualistic. Yes, here we go. And, okay? They're ruled by Uranus, right? Uranus right now is in Taurus, and I just mentioned this to Sagittarius, so that was important to them. And this might be important too, because look who's next door. The Wheel of Fortune with all the fixed signs on it. So, Uranus right now is in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign, full of prescriptions, full of rules and regulations. As a fellow Earth sign, you can relate to that a little bit. Everything belongs in its place. Everything kind of has a rhythm to it. Everything sort of has a reasonable or rational way of operating, yeah? Uranus is like, no, it doesn't. Who says? Uranus challenges. Uranus is all about reinvention. Okay, well, sure, that worked then, but how about now? Or now that we have this person present in the argument, or this element present in the problem, now we have to reevaluate this. And so there's this ever-changing energy with Uranus, and therefore Aquarius is, even though they are fixed, they also are probably the most okay with change, or at least okay with the potential of changing. So why do I say all this? Because that's what's happening here. There is a change going on with this particular Page of Pentacles energy that needs to be embraced. And as the water bearer, as this card sort of suggests, no judgment, man. No judgment zone. This water bearer over here by the water, buck naked. Butt or buck, however you want to say it. They both work for me. Butt and buck naked. Okay? That's super vulnerable. That's like, come at me, bro. It's kind of what I'm feeling like. Come, embrace this moment. Embrace this energy. Embrace this environment. So the upheaval, the change, the realization, the revelation, the acceptance of I'm just gonna be odd man out in my reverse Page of Pentacles energy. All right, cool. Let's heal that. Yeah? Let's accept our differences, or not our differences, our individualisms. Individualisms, whatever. Our individual natures, right? Let's embrace the fact that you're a young person who might be a medium. You're a young person who's, somehow inspired by or informed by the occult. Okay, cool. Accept it. Aquarius is very big on acceptance. And for you or this person, whoever it is, it's very important right now, Capricorn. It's super important. I'm sorry that this reading is really going, for many of you, it's someone else. Some of you, it's you. But I feel for a good portion of you, this is about somebody else. And this doesn't normally happen. It's a general reading, though, so it's allowed to happen because I asked for what does Capricorn need to know. In my little pre-meditation, I ask for each sign what do they need to know, give them messages that will help them, guide them, and heal them. And this is the message. It's important to someone around you, many of you. And I'm sorry if you wanted to hear about you, but, not today. Now, we heal, we accept this aspect of our lives. Then what happens? Well, we become happier. And I think we become happier because we might get in contact. Yes, thank you. So whoever Page of Pentacles is becomes a little happier because of this. Well, this is the vehicle or the catalyst for becoming happier. 8 of Wands. Movement. So like I said, in time, you're inviting this person out. You're encouraging this kid, get up off the couch and go out and play. Eventually they will do that. So there is some mobility going on here. Getting up, getting involved in a sport, getting involved in an after-school activity, taking up a hobby, doing something like that. In other ways, if you just have a incredibly lazy personality or an incredibly lazy child around you, if it's not actual physical activity, it's going to be the exchange of information and the exchange of messages and the exchange of ideas and passions. And so that's where I think it kind of connects with this Aquarian energy or Aquarius person. It doesn't have to be an Aquarius person, but this Aquarian energy of acceptance. So maybe your kid is spending hours online Googling what's going on with me, psychics and mediumship and all that kind of stuff, tarot maybe, and they're getting in touch with other people in a community. So they find a Tumblr page or people on Twitter or something on YouTube. Maybe you're the kid. Hello. And, maybe this is you. And you've met people who resonate back to you or reflect back to you what you have been going through, what you've not understood about yourself. Yeah. So there's an idea of talking with the 8 of Wands, communicating with, quickly, rapidly, back and forth, texts, emails, sending, GIFs back and forth to each other, whatever. With someone who's accepting, with someone or some community of people, because Aquarius can represent a community. They're communal. They're not a communal energy, but they rule over consideration for the group, consideration for the whole. I would expand on that, but this has gone on long enough. Yeah. So finding a home base, a place to be comfortable, a place where you can be yourself, where you can be as vulnerable as a naked lady standing by a lake pouring water into the lake and then onto the grass. That's a super vulnerable position to be in. Most women or people don't walk around doing that. So, yes, there's a potential to find a group of people, or maybe even just one significant person who understands the experience or can validate or even just accept, not even necessarily validate, but just say, oh, hey, that's cool. I never heard of that before. Tell me more. You know, and Aquarius energies are also very curious. Oh, tell me more about that. I like what you're saying. Expand on that. You know, Aquarius is definitely that person in a conversation. Well, what else do you think? Tell me more. And they press and press because they want to get more information. Yeah. Now, the happiness comes, or the happiness is available, and it ties back into her. And yes, the happiness comes in the form of the Ace of Cups. Yeah. So the opportunity, the chance, the potentiality for just an overflow of emotional happiness, of feeling love, of feeling acceptance, of feeling warmth, sharing in stories and camaraderie, and building amazing relationships. Yeah. For some of you, and maybe that's the other part of this, and okay. So they draw me right to the rainbow. Yeah. So for some, this is like an LGBTQ plus, etc., storyline. For some of you, this could be a coming out story for some of you, or coming out story for your child or a younger person who's close to you. Okay. And I'm not trying to like out anybody. I'm not trying to drag anybody out of the closet. And this is not some, well, he's never had a girlfriend before. I guess now that I've seen that tarot reading, I know he's getting. No. Don't go making assumptions. But for some, it is like this acceptance of, I love differently, or I am a part of this community. I'm not some cis heterosexual person that everybody thinks I am. You know, that is somebody's truth. And this is, I feel, and it doesn't, you know, this is in March. You know, they tell me things all late in the game. This is for March, but I feel this extends beyond March. You know, like this person back here, Page of Pentacles in reverse, has been going through this for a while. I'm going to say definitely since the beginning of the year for most. And for some, maybe even a few years. So anywhere between 3 months to a year plus, this has been going on for people. This isn't some new shit that happened last week. Okay, this isn't new behavior. This is, like I said, we get wound up and then we relax. Cycles. So it comes and it goes. It ebbs and it flows. So that, I didn't mention that before, and I hope that was sort of indicative of how long this has been going on. So, for some, this is a long coming out story. I'm finally realizing who I am as a person. I love men. I am a man and I love men. I am a trans woman and I love women. Whatever your story is. For those where it's not, I feel that there is a significant change or meeting of another person, meeting of a group, or coming to terms with something that opens the doors. Opens the doors. Yeah? Another form of coming out. And I don't want to co-opt that word, and I don't want to steal that word from the LGBTQ plus community. But I'm just for the moment, I'm doing that. It's a different type of coming out. Where maybe you have a kid who's been antisocial and you've tried to get them involved in sports. But sports was never their thing. Their thing was really, you know, video games. Or their thing was really robotics. Or their thing was really book club. Whatever. You push them to do this. They don't want to do that. They get really sullen. They get angry. They get sad when you make them do this thing. And then you leave them alone. They come to you and they say, I want to take up, you know, origami. Something like that. And you're like, what the hell? Origami? Like, and they're like, there's a club over at such and such school in a different district. And you're like, you want to go to the district in the town over to go and join an origami club? And you're like, I just wanted you to play soccer, buddy. But that's what they want. So you take them. Here's your origami class. Here's your origami group. And that's it. That's the coming out that this kid needs. Not in a way of their sexuality. I'm just co-opting that word for a second. Please forgive me. But now that they've experienced that, meeting other kids or other people in their cohort, in their social class or their age group rather. Now that I've met other people who like it too, now this person can be who they are. Now they can experience this happiness and this joy that is a part of the Ace of Cups. It's really interesting that this is, for many of you, not about you. You needed to hear this because, again, I ask, what does Capricorn need to know? So for some of you Capricorns, there's someone in your life, a child or someone younger or someone who's just maybe in an immature space or a space of being not yet developed, not yet mature enough to express something or experience something. They're expanding themselves. They're growing into who they are. And this has been a long time coming, okay? Now your outcome, which I mentioned at the top, popped out earlier. And maybe that's a thing. Okay, again, back to that Wheel of Fortune thing and how I said wound tightly, then released. Tight, release, back and forth, cycles. This came out once and it is come out again in your outcome. As I shuffled off camera, this thing came out. So there's this idea in that action that you, or someone else has known the truth, Ace of Swords, was going to come out. But then it went away. It got tucked back into the deck. It got tucked away. Back into the closet, maybe, yeah? But now it's shown up here today. So there's this idea of finally being completely authentic, completely truthful, completely free and honest and open, okay? That's all what the Ace of Swords encompasses. I love it. I love when they give me like just these signs and these connections because it makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Now, Ace of Swords, like I said, truth, authenticity, and exuberant about it. Like, look at this cloud. It's the Happy Tarot deck, but geez, this cloud is like so happy to be holding this sword. So, maybe someone out there was like, I want to do LARPing. And you're like, what the hell is LARPing? Like some of you are like, what the hell is a LARP? Pause the video, Google it, and then come back. So something, or some type of cosplay, where you hold a sword and you brandish a sword and you come dressed as your favorite comic book character or anime character or something like that. I don't know. But there is this idea of brandishing something, bringing something out. Look, guys, look at my collection of origami things that I hid under my bed because I didn't want my parents to know I was super into origami. There's this idea of possessing something, holding it, and bringing it and showing it to other people. Book club. If it's book club, if it's something as simple as book club, it's not, 2 towns over origami or something, cool. And there's just such a joy with being able to present this item. If there's no physical item attached to it, if this is more abstract or a little less specific for some of you, swords would represent ideas and communications and thought and your mental capacities, yeah? So this could be argumentation. This could be, I don't want to play soccer, I want to be on the debate team. Some of you might have had sports dreams for your kids, or dreams that he would join the wrestling team, or she would become, join the dance team or something like that. No, I am pursuing debate, and I'm really interested in political science, and I'm really interested in environmental issues, and this kid is super intellectualized. And some of you are like, I just want you to play ball. Oh God, you're going to be one of those kids. You're going to be like a young Michael P. Keaton, and you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that. Too bad. That's what your kid wants, or that's what you want. Someone is presenting their truth, their authentic self. And that's it. That's what's going to happen. Accept it. Accept it. Overall energy for the month for you, Capricorn, is the Sun card. Beautiful energy. Hello. Secondary card of Leo, so there might be a Leo of importance in your life, but it does not have to be. The Sun is that, oh God, it's the epitome of happiness in the tarot deck. It's the epitome of joy and contentment and exuberance, vitality, vibrancy, okay? That's what's at stake here. That's what we're all talking about. This whole thing, the undercurrent of the entire thing has been this. Someone waking up, jumping up out of bed with a pep in their step, ready to face the world. Maybe that's what this person, this Page of Pentacles in reverse, will eventually get to. Yeah? It's what they want. It's what's destined for them in some cases. We got a lot of cards that speak to the theme of fate, of being on track to do this, or being on track to become this, being on track to experience this, or wake up to this, come out of this. Destiny in a lot of ways, yeah? And on the line, or like I said, as the undercurrent here, is this incredible joy. It's just like, yes, everything is yes. Like, I rarely speak in such hokey terms. I'm more cliched, but I'm feeling like a smile across my heart, a smile across my chest. It's, that's wonderful. If that's you, your kid, one of your kids in your 6th period science class, I don't care who it is. That's important. Someone else's joy or your own, I don't care. When someone is able to tap into this, or finally see that this is a potential in their life, or that this is something that they can experience, this is something that they can hold on to, this is something that they can recognize in themselves or in their experience, we all should be happy for them. We all should be supported to have this, or to prioritize this. And I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling like this is, I should take that back immediately. It's not about prioritizing. It really is, it just comes naturally out of this. This is the result. Out of this, this is what has been running in the background. This is what was waiting to be displayed or to be debuted. Okay? Lovely. I was concerned in the beginning, if I'm honest. This is a quick aside before I wrap things up. I was very concerned because the pages, number one, I rarely assign them to children, but this was heavy on the aspect of children. But the other part about a page is it's immature. It's not developed. So there is an innate understanding that it will become something else. But there's a lot weighted here in the beginning. A lot. So give it time. Give this person all the patience that you can muster. Give yourself patience. Ask other people if this is you. Ask people around you. Give me time. Please, I beg your patience. I'm just going through something. I need to figure some things out. Okay? Capricorn. Guys, that's your reading for March 2019. Did you like it? If you did, there is a like button down below. Please hit it for me. It lets me know, it lets YouTube know you had a good time here and that you liked whatever you saw and that you connected with the content. You can also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you on board. Click the notification bell. It lets you know when I upload. One day in the future, hopefully soon, I might go live. So you want that notification clicked if I ever do that. Also, there is a comment section down below. If you want to leave me a comment, let me know how this resonated, because this is a lot. So if anybody wants to clarify something with me or clue me in, that'd be amazing. I'd appreciate it. And finally, there's the share button down there as well. You can share this across your social media platforms. Let other people know that you watch me, that you like what you see here. There might be a message for, someone else who's a Capricorn that you're like, oh my God, this is us. share it with them. That'd be cool. And I will be back in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, Capricorn, when I bring you your April 2019 reading. Until then, I thank you guys so much for being here. Take care. Bye.